Hey guys.
Hey.
Hey, do you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool.
So are we live right now?
We are.
Nice. So I think we should be able to start. There's Charlie Macron who should join, but Wes, you're gonna join soon. Yeah, let's just start. I'm gonna share my screen. Can you see Notion right now?
Yes, we can.
Nice. Cool. General update. So the main work we've been doing the last 2 weeks has been for the V29 release. It's pretty much ready. So what we completed are Solana withdrawing core, the V1 for fast inbound observation, the first initial integration for SWI to go on testnet, and implementation of the on-board workflow. So that's a lot of work, a lot of things that have been completed. So yeah, congrats to the team. I think this series went pretty well. Yeah, and that's many things we'll have to test thoroughly on testnets. So Solana with Rancor will be important that we test with real dApp like exchange on Solana. Fast inbounds will need to like experiment with it a lot on testnets. Yeah, and same for on boards. But so far everything tested on localnet, so that's good. For the release, there are just two small peers, and I think they have been already reviewed. There's the Bitcoin. I think that's this one. No, it's this we show. The Bitcoin, there is error in the end-to-end test, but by end of tomorrow that should be completed. And finally, yeah, there's another issue, but I think we can talk about it later in the call. But there is one bug maybe we should consider for a fix if it's not too complicated to complete. But yeah, so we keep the plan to make the release this week. I don't know if we have specific deadlines, so I think we want to go testnet next week. So by end of Wednesday, I think that should be a good date to set as a deadline to make the release. Yeah, what does you think about that? Wednesday as a deadline. Does it sound good to you, Charlie?
Yeah, Thailand sounds good. We'll do testnet early next week.
Okay. And so, yeah, as I said, next week we'll be on testnet. We'll do a lot of testing on testnet. This week, we're gonna start the next release. We're gonna talk later in the call. What are the priorities we want for the next release? But so yeah, starting next release, and also I think there are some work we still need to do on the local nets and some other tests. Yeah, chain integrations. We can go through this. So I think the first thing is implementing Solana with core on local nets. Yeah, I want to know if there are any status updates and blockers. So you're still working on that. Denis and Stefan, you're also helping on this, if I'm not mistaken.
You mean on withdrawn call?
So now we join call on local nets.
Yeah, Stefan is working on this. I think the first version is ready to be merged. It's working. The example contract is also there in the PR. So yeah, it's looking really good.
Okay. There's nothing like, yeah, no bug or anything that would require more help from the team.
Yeah, not at the moment, but at the moment, just the simple call example is implemented. So today I'm planning to add the execute SPL function, and then we can have some like more complex example starting from tomorrow when all the basic integration is done. But currently, there is no bugs or anything.
Okay. Cool. The other thing was helping on Ton integration. So just like Live, you made some work, Dimitri, recently to be able to test Ton on live network. Yeah, any updates, any blockers ran now with Ton?
Yeah, sure. So the main blocker last week was that we were unable to run end-to-end tests automatically on testnet because they were implemented entirely for localnet. And last Friday, I published DPR that like decouples end-to-end flow from the environment it's being run on, and so it should work on testnet. But I also investigated infra a bit, so I think first we need to merge this one, then we need to add a couple of configs to infrastructure repository because it involves like private key creation, etc. And then we can run the tests. And yeah, otherwise no blockers. Also, as far as I recall, Peter was out last Friday and today, so he's back tomorrow. And besides this, no blockers. And also, I was assessing our gas model today, and I want to spend more time tomorrow because it's still not fully. Excuse me.
To what?
Yeah, I was assessing our like gas calculation model for withdrawals.
Photon, okay.
Yeah, Photon and like overall architecture, because for instance, we use the same logic across all chains, but from implementation to implementation, we have different flow. Like for instance, in Ton, we spend gas entirely from gateway itself, right? On EVM, the sender plus TSS spends gas, etc. So we need to make sure that even if new blockchains that we integrate are like fast and cheap, we still need to be we still need to ensure that all accounting works. And yeah, this is what I'm looking for right now. I think I'll post my findings and questions later today.
Okay. Yeah, it would be great, and then we can see. So Ton right now is just testnet go live. So even if it's not fully optimized, that's still fine. We didn't define dates for mainnet. So if there are optimizations that are requirement for mainnet, we can eventually discuss and see if there can be a requirement for release in future.
Yeah,
but let's see if there's nothing like too complex. And for Ton testnet, there is no, just to make sure there is no changes that we need for the release. Or I think it's not, there's nothing on the blockchain. Like
no, like no changes there. And Peter has deployed the gateway in testnet last week. So like the gateway itself is deployed in testnet.
Okay. Sounds good. I just want to put it here. So passing on observation has been completed. But yeah, I want to follow up with you, Charlie. Is there anything right now we need to look into specifically for fast endpoint observation. Are there any follow-up we need to do for the feature?
I think the main thing is just make sure we have documentation on how to, like, what's included in fast observation, and then some testing for it, right? I think seeing it in action, getting some feedback from folks. But from the development side, nothing that I can think of.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, I originally asked ZetaChain since you work on this one.
Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, I don't know what answer you're looking for.
ZetaChain is here,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's okay. It's okay. We just need like a few tests. Make a simple withdrawal or deposit and see.
Okay.
Also, like when we configure the fast confirmation parameters, make sure that we have enough gap between the fast count and the slow count, the safe count, because otherwise we won't be able to differentiate.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's something that involves some risk security-wise. So I don't know if you saw my message on Slack for the audit scope, but if you could look at it, put some documentation for fast endpoint observation, I think that would make sense.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. So next release, there haven't been like sort of like analysis like exactly what the next release will look like. Right now, we just create a new milestone, and the general high level functionalities we're gonna brought from the release. So SWI, there will be some follow-up that we'll need to work on if we want to integrate SWI on mainnet. There are some discussion, for example, how to make a fund the TSS fee payments. And we're gonna start the work for SWI with Runcore. So this is gonna be for the milestone, although SWI with Runcore, I think that's gonna be like Solana. It will be mainly work on the client and on the contract. So the idea for the release is that we have everything in the nodes in the blockchain that is required for SWI with Runcore. Eventually, we'll make a final release afterwards to fully integrate it. But yeah, SWI with Runcore and like full integration for mainnets. Signing optimization. So some of the issues we have with CSS are like the failure in the key sign. Observation optimization and a set of improvements in the protocol contracts. Something I think we discussed several times with Denis. Like, for example, there are some DevX improvements we should make in the message context. Some other optimization like refunding the gas when you provide a high gas limit to a withdrawing core. There is no. It's very recently we discussed about those high level functionalities, so there is no like concrete epics with all the issues. But I'm gonna work on that today and tomorrow. But yeah, that's the general ideas. Any opinion, any feedback on that? Anything to add on your side, Charlie, Macron?
No, just I think this, we did a good job sort of expanding, getting new chains added. Now spend a little bit of time optimizing what we have, improving throughput speed, and then we'll probably go back into expansion mode right on the next release. Sort of alternate that way for as long as it makes sense.
Yeah. So right now there are still some work to wrap up, like LocalNet, Sana, some work on Ton. But so this week I will just follow up with the team, and we can start already assigning tasks for those different high-level functionalities. So there are those things. There are also some smaller tasks that we're gonna just port from the previous release to the new one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And the idea will be around early April for the release. We're gonna make the next audit that will take some bandwidth for us because we're gonna have to assist a bit on the questions, things like that. But yeah, overall, that will be mostly release focused on improvements of the performance and also DevX improvement for the protocol contracts. So protocol contracts, we migrated to V2, then we put the contract a bit aside. We work on other things like chain integration. So now we're gonna spend some time doing iteration of the improvement of the protocol contract. All right. Bugs reporting. There is first one I wanted to talk right now. So there is a issue with AD Finance DAV on smart contracts that is reverting. I think they are doing some investigation on their sites, but on our site there is already a problem that we don't index the right transaction for a cross transaction. So if you go to this one, that reverts. So if you go to the error message, you have the depositing call that fail, and if you go to the actual transaction that is indexed in the cross transaction, you don't get the right one, so you get a deposit method that fails. Yeah, I talked with you, Tanmay, if you could look at it. I don't know if you already start looking at the bug.
Yeah, I started looking into it, but I don't have like a definite solution yet. I'll probably spend today trying to figure it out,
Okay.
and I'll drop an update on the channel if I do find something.
Okay. It's for sure a change we need to make on the blockchain, so I think that would be useful to have it, ideal to have it for the next release.
Sounds
So I can follow up later today and eventually assign more people for the bug if needed. Aside from that, are there any issues right now we should look at it this week? I think, by the way, we should maybe make a cleanup. I think there are some that are no longer up to date. Yeah, anything on your side, Dennis?
Nope. Currently working on calls from Sui on LocalNet from contracts. So there's one PR there, but nothing on the node side.
Okay.
Well, I think that's too. Anything that you would like to see prioritized by protocol in the next release that helps on the developer experience side?
I mentioned a few things, and Lucas also mentioned it already about the ERC20 amount and context when you're making withdraw and call.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So it's part of contract. Yeah, we'll create a list of issues for this one and share it to you, see if that makes sense. Yeah, in general, like
I think it would really help to have a way for people to submit cross-chain transactions that weren't observed or like failed for some reason or just generally status unknown. We talked about this. We wanted to have like a service for that, but I was wondering if we should just do the GitHub issue thing where we have a template with a form, people fill it out, and an issue is created. I think the site
Reporting, reporting like missed inbound.
yeah. Missed or failed. I mean, I know it's a very low-tech solution for this, but it could work because it automatically creates an issue and we can track it. And
Yeah, we should definitely do that because we want to even, we don't want an automated thing for this because we want to make sure we're investigating and understanding why these things may or may not have been caught.
And having a form is going to make it easier because we'll be able to just select a chain, for example, from which you initiated a cross-chain transaction.
Okay. Where would be the form?
Just a GitHub issue form.
Okay.
We don't even need a chain drop down because what we really need is a transaction hash, a URL to an explorer on a connected chain. And maybe some other details, but the URL should be enough, really.
Okay. Sounds good. Certain topic. So you want to talk about emitting and indexing events? Tell me.
Yeah, so I added the document like some time ago, just looking for like comments and discussion. So I have listed the events that we have currently, and if there are some of them which are not being used at all, we should consider removing them. But yeah, we can just have like a chat on the issue itself. I've linked a Notion document which has the list of events that ZetaChain has right now.
Okay. Are there any pain points right now? Is it because of state growth? Is the motivation?
Yeah, it's, like basically the events would be part of the state, and some of the events we are firing at like every block. It's not really a huge problem now, but we should consider trimming out stuff which we don't need. So yeah, it's not urgent, but it's like good to have.
Okay. Okay. I don't have anything special on my side. I would say let's define like the milestone, like all the concrete tasks for the milestone, and see if that would make sense to have it borrowed.
Okay.
And yeah, this one has been around for a long time.
Yeah, so this one was in the milestone, and I just looked it up and did some like minor research work. So it's basically like like what it says is the median gas price can be affected if we have 50% of the observers who are misbehaving instead of like the 66% that we need for everything else.
Mhm.
We can change that, but this again goes back to like how our observer set is not decentralized. And I know that that was one of the issues, like the points of focus for this year. So yeah, maybe we can consider this as like a starting point to make changes which would lead to observer sets being more decentralized, like slashing observers and things like that.
Okay. So this one we added in the milestone. Yeah, you added decision in the milestone, Charlie. Do you think it's important? Because right now, like to me, like the difficulty is very high. Like you need 50% observers, but if you have 50% observers already malicious, there are much bigger things that they can do.
So, yeah, so I think on the observation side, the most important part is the reliability. So I think when it like we have in their optimization or observation optimizations, I need to add a specific issue to this. Like we were dropping stuff around the upgrade height when Zeta clients were upgrading and stuff like that. So that's the biggest priority, safety rails, to make sure we don't miss transactions there and they don't have to be added manually later. This type of stuff I think is important to start thinking about and sort of have a plan towards it. So I'm open to it. It's just lower priority than the other things we have going on in there. But I would like to move towards a world where we can make the observers more decentralized. That would be very good for us.
Okay. So then we first worked like on the small modular design where you could separate observer signers. So
Yeah.
this one I would like put in the future instead of keeping it for the next release.
Yeah, I'm good with that.
Yeah. You want to say something, Tommy?
Yeah, I did see issue that you created around how observers and signers need to be separated. I added a comment there as well. Yeah, we can continue our discussion on the issue itself, but essentially on the ZetaCore side, we do have a separation in terms of like we have a node account list which is used for TSS generation and an observer set which should be used for observing. So yeah, maybe if we want to focus on that issue first, it might make sense to make sure like we are using the correct set everywhere on the Zeta client as well.
Okay.
Yeah, just some notes on that. I did also file an issue about Zeta clients not signing if they don't have RPC configurations. So that's one issue. You're required to configure and have an RPC right now if you want to participate in signing. And the other thing we noticed is there is a Bitcoin RPC like in the middle of signing between scheduling and signing. So Bitcoin also definitely requires an RPC to be configured right now.
Yes, these should all go in that milestone. So yeah, when we're talking about like signing optimizations, these are the types of things we want to go and solve.
Okay. So yeah, for this one, we can put it aside for now and focus first on all the optimization for the observer set. And
Sorry, I wasn't clear what you
something.
said there. You said like focus on the optimizations instead of the observer set.
No, the issue like we just talked about this one, like putting this
Oh, yes.
this one aside. Yeah, something I didn't mention also, it's not written right now in the milestone, but we are considering decreasing the block time. Yeah, there's no, I don't think there are specific goal to be considered right now, but for the milestone, we should see what are change needed if we want to enable like reducing the block time. And so after that, we can make some more experimentation. If we reduce the block time to 4 seconds, what happens with the network?
Yeah, the main thing is we have
yeah.
a bunch of like hard coded stuff in Zeta client that would need to find and detect.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the idea of having this one in the milestone.
this might also need changes on the ZetaCore side because a lot of time-based calculations we use like a fixed number and divide by 6 to get the number of blocks. So we might need to adjust things on the ZetaCore side.
Okay. I mean, it's not even correct right now because it's not 6 seconds. It's very it varies a lot. So even if we don't decrease the block time, that would be a good optimization to change this logic and remove the dark values that we have. So, but normally that should be like small things German-wise compared to 3R sending optimization. All right. Is there anything else someone wanted to discuss? All right, so we have some time, so I just wanted to like align with the team. So Stefan, on your side this week, so you're looking at the bug with AD, but you're also working on a local net implementation. Is there other work that you were planning to do? Otherwise, like, is there something from the milestone you would want to work on?
Yeah, apart from what you said, I also wanted to look into Solana, like security considerations to prepare for audit, like documenting what we did with withdraw and call, and yeah, maybe look a bit into that. And so you're asking if something to work for the next milestone, right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, I will be follow up once we have a more concrete epics for my son, but just to know.
Yeah, I mean, and anything works. So
Okay.
whatever makes more sense to you.
Okay. Mitri, on your side, you're still working on Tone. Is there anything else you had planned for the week?
Yeah, figure out some small issues regarding tone, investigate gas for withdrawals, also investigate local, like I remember that topic was SUI local execution. I don't remember the name of this flag, but yeah, to basically ensure that we sign and broadcast SUI transactions in the proper way. That's also on the bucket list is to spend some time on errors regarding TSS signatures that we observed in the doc. But yeah, it should be related to the same topic that Alex mentioned. Yeah, I just need to onboard into this issue and spend more time diving into the context. Yeah.
Okay. I mean that's basically part of next release.
Yeah, cool.
For SUI, the local, I mean we talked about that, but so we have Epic for the managed requirements and yeah, maybe we can work both of us on this one. There will be small task to work on, so should be fine.
Yeah. Also, would be great to have some early feedback from our core devs on Zeta regarding SUI integration. Probably would be great to collect some feedback from what we have right now, rather than finding this out when we launch mainnet, right? So it would be cool to keep this momentum.
Yep. That makes sense. And also withdrawing call. So it's part of Mastodon, but before starting any work, I mean, there are still some refinement to make on the actual solution. I think this is something you wanted to discuss further, like based on Panero solution. You mentioned there were some different things you wanted to change.
Yeah, I think it almost warrants a separate call where we can discuss possible scenarios of how we can implement this. But yeah, right now we can only relay transactions, which probably is sufficient for many use cases. But at the same time, it would be great to explore how can you initiate transactions from ZetaChain, even if you don't have the transaction bytes ready, basically.
Okay. Well, good. So, Chen, is there anything you're working on right now?
So on my side, I was working on the fast outbound observation, actually. Well, I think I just want to confirm. So we also need the fast outbound, right? That's
What do you
gonna
mean we need the fast one?
like if someone withdraw token to external chain, and in that case we can confirm it also in a fast manner, so the CCTX finalize a bit earlier than the required confirmation, the safe confirmation.
Outbound
Yeah.
observation. Okay. So what we worked right now is only related to inbound, right?
Yeah, right.
And I don't think that would be complex since now we have a solution for inbound. So I would say like it's a great issue for now.
Yeah, I have a draft PR now. Maybe I can make it ready today or tomorrow.
Okay. I mean, yeah, no, I don't think that will be like something as needed as the inbound. So let's see how complex it is, but if it's not like high complexity, can be part of next release.
Yeah, it's like less complicated than inbound for sure, because we don't really consider like amount cap or something, as long as it's successful and good.
Okay.
Yep.
Quick question: do we have use case for this? Because like from the user standpoint, right? If I interact with any Omni app, like, and the transaction is being completed on Unbound network, I don't really care about finalization of cross-chain transaction in ZetaChain, right? Because as soon as I see the funds on external chain, it's okay to wait like for basically any time on ZetaChain, because I don't want to interact with ZetaChain anymore at this point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's not an issue.
That would be useful. That would be useful once we support with Rancor, because then you can get it reverts faster and you get the funds faster. But right now we don't support with cross-chain calls, so yeah, that's why I say like if it's small change, since we already implemented fast inbound observation, I think that we can add it. But if it's too complex, like I would say we're gonna wait before we have the implementation for the message. That will come later. Yeah, it's not for next release.
Yeah, like regarding outbounds, I think instead of like fast mode, we just need to come up with some generic solution for scheduling TSS signatures, right? Because right now we have different implementations for different chains. Like we have outbound look ahead, we have like freshly created outbounds, like we have retries, etc. So I think if we try to optimize and generalize this topic, it would be like more beneficial, and as an like possible outcome also faster to schedule outbounds.
The outbound scheduler and outbound confirmation are like two different things. So outbound, fast outbound confirmation is something like when you click a withdraw on the heart, and then the workflow is I mean, the time of finality is like shorter than regular.
Yeah,
that's
I
the thing.
understand. But from the user perspective, let's say if we have fast confirmation, then we like wait less blocks. But right now, sometimes some outbound transactions, they are being scheduled like 30 seconds after ZetaChain emits this new cross-chain transaction, right? So I think we need to make sure that we sign and broadcast outbounds as soon as they pop up on ZetaChain. So to like maximize throughput of TSS.
I think it's part of the signing optimization. So we can
like it has the same
that.
outcome, but different routes and like completely different solutions. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that would be important. We document all of those into a peak.
So it sounds like signing optimizations, I think, is a little too specific. So yeah, outbound optimizations really, which is going to include signing and broadcasting and all the other bits and pieces.
All right, 2 minutes left before the stand-up. Is there anything on your side, Tanmay? There are some bugs you're looking into. Are there anything for this week?
Not really. I did start looking into an issue from this milestone, which was, let me just post that link here. Yeah, I put it on the chat, I think. But yeah, it's around mitigating the inbound votes if ZetaCore stops producing blocks. It was part of the milestone. I'm not sure whether we still need to, like what's the best implementation to solve it, but there's a discussion going on.
Okay. Sounds good. We'll follow up on this week. All right, 1 minute left. I think that's it. Is there any question, Dennis, from the community?
No technical questions so far.
Okay. All right. I think that's it then.
Awesome.
Thanks,
Thanks
everyone.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks. Bye bye.
You.